What's the haps on the hops? Got yeast, that's beast. This the Molten Hour where we talk about our drink and tell you what we think every other week. And if we get drunk, well, we might slur our speech. Got the gift of gab, the friends you wish you had. Join us for a drink, join us for a laugh. Time is never wasted, where you getting wasted. The Molten Hour here, people take your places. People take your places. People take your home.
Welcome to the Malting Hour. I am one of your hosts, Tony Golick, joined always with
Brandon Winninger.
And the Malting Hour water boy himself, back from a long hiatus,
Clark Fettridge.
and joined with another special guest who hasn't been here since Halloween,
Rachel Morrison.
who did not invite herself this time.
Nope.
And technically, I feel like you didn't invite yourself last time either. Like, we
Sure.
talked about it, right? I thought we just kind of,
You know what? I think we did talk about it, and then I just was like, by the way,
I'd like to be on the show.
I'll be there.
Maybe.
Yeah, it works.
I believe the request was, I've never been on a podcast before, and
Okay.
I really would like to be
That
on a
makes
podcast.
sense.
That was-
I feel
that
like,
was what it was.
Yeah, you probably... Okay, you spearheaded that. That's fine.
Yeah.
So we are here, the four of us are here in DryHop. As you guys may or may not know, we've been talking about their beers and working closely with their marketing manager, Joe, because Joe was on the show and shared a whole bunch of beers from Crushed by Giant, Corridor, and DryHop, which was very fun. And then
It's nice to finally meet Joe. You've mentioned him at least 3 to 4 times more than me on the last couple weeks of episodes.
because we like Joe more than you.
Oh, so why am I here?
Brought beer.
Yeah, Joe brought beer.
I brought you beer like once.
You're only here because I felt bad for you having had nothing to do on a Friday.
Typical Joe.
Typical Tony. So we're here at DryHop because they're celebrating their 9th anniversary today. And Joe invited all four of us to come here. And Dan who's not here. Sorry, Dan. R.I.P. He's not dead. We were invited here to come hang out because they have brought back all past most of their past brewers from over the years, 9 years, to come and do a collaboration beer. And he thought it'd be cool for us to come here, talk to some of the brewers, and also get a chance to meet them for the first time. I guess it's kind of the same thing. Talk to the brewers and meet them for the first time.
Yes.
Well, the meeting part, what do you shake hands or hey man?
I don't know if going to Goose Island before coming here is working in my advantage right now.
It's fine.
I feel
it's working
okay,
fine for me.
but I feel like all my train of thought as far as like how I'm normally off the cuff completing sentences for the podcast is maybe not connecting as well.
You're doing just fine.
Hey,
Keep it
thanks
up,
a lot,
Tony.
man. I appreciate it. Very nervous right now. Very nervous. So have any of you guys been? Well, Rachel, have you been here to DryHop before?
Yes, the last time I was here was for the Blue Man Group, like Blue Beer, last October. I
Oh
wanna
yeah.
say.
I
Yeah.
remember seeing that story.
Yep.
How was that beer?
Very sweet. But honestly, it was interesting. It was good.
Sweet and interesting, just like the Blue Man Group.
Yeah.
Those guys
Yeah.
are.
They nailed
just
it.
The sweetest. Brandon, have
Was
you?
it just a blue beer, or was it like a blueberry beer? Or?
It was, I want to say, maybe like blue raspberry, I think is what they referred to it as.
That sounds good.
Yeah. And it was strong. It was like a 7% blue beer.
Sweet's easy to drink.
Looks like a milkshake IPA.
She doesn't
Oh,
really
hey.
remember it.
Oh, hey Clark, that's why you're
I'm
here.
back. I'm back, guys.
Clark's back, baby. He's checking the facts.
Yeah, a bright raspberry on the aroma and taste by incorporating a raspberry concentrate.
Oh, ooh, that sounds good.
All right.
Wish I was here for that. Brandon, have you ever been to DryHop?
I have
before?
not.
You have not. This is your first time.
Yep.
How do you like it so far?
You were correct with the assessment of it being a very small space.
Yeah.
But they do have the luxury of the next door, having Robux. So
That's where we're recording, actually.
Yeah.
So we're here while everything is open. There are people making pizza right now, not far from us, maybe like 50 feet, making pizza. So you're going to hear a lot of background noise, and just bear with us. It's going to be worth it because we're going to talk to so many people. Probably. We'll see how it goes. Clark, you and I have been here once before.
Probably 5 years ago?
5 years ago, we came here when I
Yeah.
think it was the first release of Hot Butcher and DryHop doing Milk Pistachio.
Yes.
And that day, it was on tap, and they also, I think it's a bakery nearby.
It's one of the popular donut places. Help us with that.
Stan?
No, I think
Oh.
it probably was Stan's. They do a pistachio.
Actually, Joe's here. Joe, maybe this was before you were here. Do you remember, is there a local bakery that DryHop has teamed up with at one point for the Hot Butcher Milk Pistachio?
They had their
collaboration.
pistachio donut.
I can find out.
I think it was Stan's,
I think
but
Stan's is
don't
close by.
quote me on that.
All right.
But
Joe's going to check.
both the beer and the donut were fantastic.
Delicious. That also leads us to the infamous story of where you and I ended up getting free tickets to Prop
Blah,
Day,
blah,
going to
blah.
Bug Isle, blah, 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 blah.
By the way, happy halfway to Plop Day, everybody.
Halfway to Plop Day. So that means in a short 6 months, we'll be going around to different breweries, not going to Prop Day again, probably.
Yeah,
we'll see.
most likely. So it goes.
Hopefully meet some. Oh, here, Joe's got an answer.
It's fire cakes.
Fire cakes.
Thank you.
Joe. And that's
But shout out to Stan's for also making great donuts.
Stands and Fire Cakes. They got the donuts. Oh, we'll get the donut at the end of the show. By the way, that voice was Joe Steigerwald, who Joe's been on the show, as you guys know. He's the one who helped us get into this. I'm not going to say he coordinated it, but he coordinated us, the four of us, being here. But so, thank you, Joe. We'll talk to Joe in a little bit. We're also going to talk to some other people, which if you guys want to do that now, we should probably do that.
Sure.
They're more interesting than I am.
We know.
Especially
We're going
these
to probably
days.
swap you out.
Sorry.
You'll probably be the first one swapped out.
Good to see you guys.
Not really.
Hi guys.
Hello. You guys all know Brant?
Do not. It's first time meeting Brant.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Brant.
Brant. Tony, nice to meet you. Clark, nice to meet you.
Brandon.
Brandon, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Rachel, I met you earlier. So.
Rachel was also at our Blue Man event too.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Rachel's trying to weasel her way onto the show.
I am, if you can tell.
Brant, thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah, man.
So,
Of course.
from what Joe tells us, you are numero uno, first person hired here.
I am the first person hired in company's history, I believe. Yes. Yeah.
Employee number one.
Point number one. Huh? That
A
kinda
number
could be,
one.
yeah.
Well, other than the owner. I guess the
Yeah,
owner.
well, I mean,
I guess Greg is the most important component.
Sure. But without the first employee, I mean, yeah, what do you got? You just got a guy who owns a business.
Exactly.
No
Yeah.
offense to the owner.
No
so tell us a little bit about the history of you being here and DryHop, because you're the best source to talk to on your ninth anniversary.
Yeah, so I was born in Pittsburgh, and I don't know, just looking for a new challenge. And I love Pittsburgh. I love the city.
Pittsburgh is an awesome
I went
city.
to school out there, so I still had a lot of friends in the area. But just looking to maybe stretch my wings a little bit. So I'm from New York, so I talked with my wife and just said, hey, I'm going to throw out 2 applications. And there's a place in Chicago and 6 Point in Brooklyn. And I'm going to throw a couple out. I'm just going to throw a couple resumes out there and see,
sticks?
maybe something we could grow a little bit more. And so I brewed at the Church Brew Works in Pittsburgh, and Brian Pearson, who is my mentor and someone I really look up to, but he was the original head
That
brewer.
building's awesome,
and
by
he
the
was
way.
there for 10 years, and it was always Brian's brewery, so I was sort of like trying to, like, I don't know, wanted to start with something from the ground up.
Yeah.
And never heard from 6 Point, but Greg Schuff, the owner of the company, gave me a call. I did a couple interviews with him. He flew out to Pittsburgh and met with me, and it was a real opportunity to get in on the ground floor of starting a brewery. Like in 2013 was sort of like the groundswell of like craft beer,
Especially in
really
Chicago, I
starting
feel like it
to
was
take
really-
over. And
yeah.
Chicago, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, at the time, were there 5 or 6 breweries?
Yeah, and then all
in
of a
Chicago
sudden-
now there's 190 in
You can't walk down a
Chicagoland.
block without getting hit
Yeah.
by a brewery. Like,
That's
So
okay. That's okay.
it was
Yeah.
a really good opportunity to get in on the ground floor and start something and make the brewery my own with the help from Greg, who was invaluable with his knowledge. He actually was an owner who went to Siebel and went to Doman's in Germany and understood the brewing process, and that was great to have an owner who was that into craft beer, that he was that dedicated to actually do a brewer's program.
Yeah, someone who has the knowledge not only of starting a business, but of the product they're trying to.
Yeah,
get
it
out
wasn't some hedge fund company that was just like, I'm going to invest in this and
Yeah.
hopefully I make millions and millions of
Craft
dollars.
beer's
That's exactly what I was going to say. It's like,
there. Craft beer's a thing.
I'm not going to name the brewery that started marketing, but you know.
Yeah, so I really, Greg has been great, and he's an amazing person to work for and collaborate with through the last 11 years that I've been with the company.
Well, we're slowly plowing through everybody talking to everybody in the company. So hopefully one day we can talk to. Greg.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
yeah, absolutely.
That'd be awesome. So Joe told me, or told us that this was happening, 9-year anniversary. It's got to feel pretty cool, right? 9 years going strong.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, especially in this day and age where to sustain something for 9 years I think it's a nice accomplishment to actually be able to sustain it. And that goes to Greg as well, that he's willing to put in the time and put in the money and the dedication to allow something to grow over 9 years instead of getting bored with it and moving on to something else.
Well, and especially obstacles like COVID, places being closed and shit, and still making it through. It's we've talked about it before about how especially like craft breweries, it seemed like got a chance to, not all of them obviously, but a lot of craft breweries got a chance to kind of almost thrive a little bit more with challenges presented to them because they were able to either deliver or like pick up and shit like that. It just seemed like it's something that really worked out.
Yeah, and my theory on that also is even during the hard times that we're in now with like an inflation and still in the pandemic and maybe possibly going into a recession, people always drink. I'm not saying it's a foolproof industry, but I think in bad times people tend to drink more than they do in good times.
A little bit. I mean, we're not.
I know the beginning of the pandemic was rough, but it was like.
Well, you guys were buying kegs. I mean, sixtels, but I mean, still kegs.
Yeah, and I was getting weekly deliveries from Lake Effect, and
we were going through a pallet of Crowlers a week in the beginning of the pandemic.
I mean, there's nothing going on. What else are you gonna do? Hang out at home and drink some beers, work from home.
Yeah.
It never stops. Clark's still doing it, which is why it's so hard to get him back onto the show. So let's talk a little bit about what you guys ended up doing, like what the idea was for today, because you guys did something special today.
Yeah, sure. So it came about that this is Craft Beer Week, Illinois Craft Beer Week, and Beer Under Glass usually kicks it off, and then it runs for a week. And when we started it, there were 20 breweries, and now there's 190 breweries. So I'm hesitant to say that it's watered down now, but it's watered down a little bit. So it's harder every year after year trying to come up with some cool concept that'll get people in the door. Like Goose Island Dodgeball Tournament in the past was awesome, and stuff like that was really cool.
Yeah.
And we always did our shtick, for lack of a better term, was always like a lot of collaborations during Craft Beer Week, like do 3 collaborations at each brewery, do special releases, and then do tap takeover with the brewery that we are collaborating with. That was sort of always our shtick, and then we would do like an IPA night or a hazy night or something. But we sort of tap takeovers haven't really been doing as amazing as they have in years past. They still do great, but it isn't like pulling in the people that like a tap takeover in like 2013 used to do.
Which makes sense. I mean, with like you said, with how many breweries there are. And
everybody doing a super cool event throughout the week. It's tough. So I looked at it, and our first brew day was on May 20th of 2013. The last day of Craft Beer Week is May 20th of 2022. I know it's not our 10th anniversary, but it's kind of cool that it falls on the last day of Craft Beer Week.
Oh, yeah.
Let's invite all our past brewers back, and from Corridor, from DryHop, from Crushed by Giants, and let's do something cool, and let's get everybody and sort of have a reunion, and basically a good excuse to drink beer and have a good time.
Before noon.
Before noon, and have a good time. And that will be our cool, big Craft Beer Week event.
Yeah.
And so that's where it sort of came about, and I approached Joe about doing it, and I sort of like let it off like, this might be cooler if we do it on the 10th anniversary, but what do you think? And Joe was like, let's do it on the 10th anniversary too, and let's just make it a yearly event.
Sure.
And so I was like,
that's
all right.
a cool idea.
That's actually
cool. I know that. Yeah, wow.
And if it aligns with Craft Beer Week, it is a cool event to kind of do.
And next year it should fall on a Saturday. Even
Yeah,
better,
so Craft Beer Week will be
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
though. So,
But I mean, that's a good. What a way to
But
ramp
yeah,
up.
and
It
so
goes
our
till
anniver-
Sunday.
Yeah.
And
In my
also
mind,
our
it goes to
anniversary is June 13th of 2013, so we can release the beer on our anniversary.
There you go.
So it's sort of,
Oh, man.
it was sort of like a perfect storm of
Well, we
like,
already
let's
got
do this thing.
Next summer's events planned out for us. Rachel, you can come back and
thank
crash
God.
the podcast. so you, how many brewers all got together? Do you know off the top of your head how many are here with you from
So
the
we
past?
have.
We're gonna try and talk to almost all of them, I hope. but
Yeah,
we'll
so
see.
we have Danny Minot, who's now was the original assistant brewer at DryHop, and then became the first head brewer at Corridor.
Right on.
He is now the head brewer at Platform Beer Company in Cleveland.
Oh yeah. Joe
We
Steigerwald.
have Allison Christian, who just walked in the door. She is now in nursing school, but she was the assistant at DryHop, and she was at Goose Island for 3 or 4 years
Wow.
after leaving DryHop. We have Roger Cuzelis, who was the original assistant brewer at Corridor and became the head brewer at Corridor after he went to Forbidden Root. And now he is the head brewer at Maplewood Brewing. We have Brent Banks, who was the assistant brewer at Corridor, and now he is an owner, head brewer at Saint Laurent Brewing.
Oh, yeah.
We have Eric Pedilla, who was the second head brewer at DryHop, and then became the head brewer at Corridor after Roger left, and he went to Moore Brewing Company, and he is now at Open Outcry Brewing as the head brewer. We have Adrian Bedore, who was my original assistant, and then became the lead brewer / head brewer at DryHop, and he went to Five Rabbit, and now he is the head brewer at with Justin Miller at Hop Butcher. And we have Patrick Berta from Tangled Roots, who is head brewer at Corridor for 2 years. And am I missing anyone?
You mentioned Steve.
Steve Adams is not with us, but Steve is now the head brewer at Fatty's in Charleston, South Carolina,
Joe was mentioning,
which we might try to do a Zoom call with him later.
Cool.
But I think he's trying to come up for the release. But
okay.
he had a big packaging. He had to get a bunch of beer out this morning.
Gotcha.
And he was going to try and get a flight in the afternoon, and
Didn't work
just
out.
couldn't make it
Oh,
work.
that's
Yeah. So he just actually texted and was like, "Yeah, I can't get up there, but how's it going?" Basically.
Yeah, it's a really cool, unique idea.
Missing any? And of course, we've got Zack Nagy, who's our current head brewer at DryHop. Oh, and then we have Frank Haynes, who was the assistant brewer at DryHop, became an assistant brewer at Corridor, and is now the head brewer at Corridor. So he is back over here for the day. And Jacob Houston, who's Crushed by Giants head brewer, we have him in the house. And then
It's a full crew. We just
and
we saw you guys take
it's
the picture
some
and
pretty
everything.
heavy hitters in the Chicago
Yeah.
beer land
Yeah.
and Cleveland and
Well, that's
South Carolina.
that's how Joe presented it to us. He had the message that he sent was like, and when he called me, he had said, you know, some of your favorite breweries, those brewers all started at DryHop. And when he was going through the list and everything, I was like, oh shit, I never really didn't really know that. I mean, you know about certain brewers, whatever, where they come from, but it's always amazing to me to hear like where everybody starts and how they move on to other places and
Yeah, we have a good pedigree.
yeah,
That's for
yeah,
sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, this is a really cool idea. I think you guys should definitely keep doing it. It's awesome to see. Like, I mean, I don't know all you guys, but it's nice to see. Like, you know, clearly you guys all get along, get together, and respect each other. It's
I have
cool
a
you guys
feeling
did
it's going to
brew
be a
together.
yearly thing.
Yeah.
So that's one question we didn't ask is what are you brewing today?
Oh, okay. So we are brewing a fruited sour.
Ooh.
To be determined. We're going to talk to everybody and to come up with what fruit we're going to use. So that's to be determined. So I don't have all the specifics on it, but it is actually a sour that we're going to be souring in the fermenter. It's not going to be a kettle sour.
That's impressive because I feel like a lot of the times when these collaborations and big brew days come along, it's like we got to brew the biggest beer we can think of, whether it's an imperial IPA or a stout or
Bourbon
something. But
barrel-aged
like
stout,
a fruited sour, like middle of the road,
fun.
like that's awesome.
And
Like,
it's June.
yeah,
It's a perfect timing, yeah.
Yeah.
And not to take, I mean, like, A sour is tricky to do because you don't want to fuck it up, and all of a sudden you've got like some bad infection. And, hopefully for the best.
We have some talented brewers.
I was gonna say I'm not concerned about that for you guys, and I know you guys aren't concerned.
Yeah, we're excited. It's going to be fun. I mean, the first sour we ever did was a collaboration with Goose Island, and that was an amazing sour, a kettle sour that we put out. So it's sort of become the anniversary beer. We always sort of release an anniversary or sour around June, July, just for.
It's a perfect time for a sour beer.
Yeah, I agree.
You guys have any other questions you want to throw out there?
No, I think. But thanks for
Thanks for
stopping
coming
in
to
and checking
talk
with
to
us.
Yeah,
Of course,
congratulations! This is awesome.
thank you. I
Thanks
appreciate
for
it, yeah.
having
it's
us
great.
here for this. This is awesome. We're excited to talk to everyone.
I just bought a house in Chicago, so I want to.
You're here, baby.
Hopefully, I'm here till the bitter end with DryHop Corridor and Crushed by Giants. And,
Absolutely.
It's a great city. It's a great beer town. It's great.
We're spoiled
to get to know all
Chicago's
these guys. We are
spoiled,
spoiled,
yeah.
absolutely.
And a lot of the reason why we're spoiled, the guys I'm talking about, started here at DryHop.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. I always wanted Chicago to be the Portland of the Midwest, and I think we're really there. Or extremely close to being that amazing beer city / destination city for craft beer. So.
And I will say what's impressive with DryHop and the concept of the owners, instead of opening up multiple, they could have opened up another DryHop location, DryHop. It's, just changing, twisting the concept, and you get Corridor, you get Crushed by Giants. And even, we've been to Crushed by Giants and being here, it's a different feel.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
absolutely.
it's the same friendliness and openness.
Comfortable place to be.
It's great.
We always wanted to be like the neighborhood brew pub. We don't want to be that stuffy. We don't have TVs for a reason. We want people to talk to each other. We want people to enjoy the beer. We want people to have conversation, enjoy the food. We never wanted like that stuffy atmosphere where like sipping on a 2-ounce beer and critiquing it. We wanted people to elbow up to the bar and have a good time and enjoy themselves.
That's exactly what we walked into, and you guys got regulars here on Friday afternoon, ready to hang out, and they're excited to see everybody come back.
Fortunately, it's not freaking 30 degrees in May.
It's hot, and we got storms tomorrow. And there's no rain.
As I say that, a lightning strike and a downpour.
Well, and that's the end of this episode. Well, thanks for joining us, and we
cheers,
definitely
guys. Appreciate it. Yeah,
we'll get back in touch with you, and it'd be great to do another episode just with you, maybe
absolutely
quieter settings, and everything. But thanks for having us here today. We really
cheers,
appreciate
guys.
it.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah, that's from Patrick. That's Tangled Roots, correct? Yeah. So Patrick was our former head brewer over at Corridor for a long time, and I assisted him for a little while. But he ended up there, and then also our former brewer from DryHop used to work at Tangled Roots as well.
Yeah, I got to try the barrel-aged version of this at Beer and Glass last Friday.
Oh, nice.
It was really good.
I didn't get to wander around much.
It was like
Thank
the
you, my
most
friend.
if you can have a sessionable barrel-aged beer, that was it. So I think it was still 5% or 6%.
Oh wow! That's pretty remarkable.
And it was but it was full barrel, but still being refreshing, which those two words don't normally go together.
No doubt.
Barrel-aged and refreshing.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
for those of us who are just tuning in, we are joined by Zack 2K.
Zack 2K has made it to the show.
I love it. Thank you.
Zack, thanks for joining us here where you're working.
By all means, yes.
Thanks for letting us come to your job and talk to you.
My pleasure.
You're getting paid to sit
I'm
here
stuck
and
here
talk to us.
anyways.
You don't have a choice.
That's right.
So Zack, tell us a little. We already know what's going on today. Tell us a little about your history with brewing and DryHop.
Sure. So I started at DryHop probably 7 or 8 years ago. I came on just as a bartender. So I didn't really have a whole lot of experience in terms of brewing. But as I worked day shifts and kind of worked my way through the company, I got to learn about the brewing process. I got to meet the brewers. And one day, Adrian, who is now one of the current head brewers at Hop Butcher for the world, asked me, "Are you interested in this?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, that seems pretty cool." So
I really hope that was your actual response.
It was definitely maybe one octave higher, but we're pretty okay. So I hope I didn't blast anybody's eardrums on that.
No, it's fine. There's a lot of background noise for this episode. This episode is like if you were sitting at the bar with us and talking
Excellent.
to with you. So
that's what it feels like right now.
Absolutely.
I enjoy it. So that just kind of opened the door for me, and slowly but surely I just started doing all the grunt work and basically filled the role of what you call a cellarman. You mostly do all the dirty work. You do a lot of the cleaning. You regulate the fermenters. You make sure the yeast is functioning properly. All of that kind of business, and just kind of learn from there.
You basically are the guy who's like doing all the work that not a lot of the brewers want to do.
You don't want to do.
Yeah.
Right. That's why I'm asking for an assistant right now.
Nice.
So.
Joe, as marketing manager, do you have any say in that? Can you help him get an assistant?
I can pick up heavy stuff here and there.
So that's a no from Joe.
Yeah, that's a no from Joe. And that's a new beer name right there.
Yes!
A no from Joe. I love it.
Throw us in there. We'll join you with the collaboration.
No doubt. Yeah. Like I said, you can see how collaborations go. So, you just hang out and have a good time.
That's good. So you started as a cellarman, and then what happened from there?
So worked my way up. Eventually, during the pandemic, I got furloughed. So I was gone for a little while. I helped out Brent Banks at St. Laurent Brewing Company. Did some deliveries and canning and stuff for him for a little while. And then eventually, it was last summer, things started to pick up a little bit more. And I've always loved bartending. I enjoy that too. And it's also a cool thing to be able to brew beer and then serve the beer that you make as well.
Absolutely.
Especially if you have that, preset of skills. So that gave me a good motivation. And maybe, I came back in, I want to say July of 2021. And then a couple of months later, by September, our head brewer was looking for other opportunities, and graciously they offered me the opportunity. The great thing about DryHop is they are really very much focused on hiring people within and bringing people up. And that's my story. So starting as a bartender, daytime bartender, going up, working up through weekends, doing supervision, doing all of that, and then, assistant brewer and now head brewer. So
see, kids, all you gotta do is put in that effort.
Yeah.
Start from a server, a bartender to
Sling the drinks
That's right.
to make the drinks.
Aspire to be
making
a
the drinks.
bartender.
Yeah.
It's great.
Do you have
You have the skills.
do you have the skills to make this happen?
That's right.
Zack 2K.
2K. I love. Bless you for that nickname.
You know what, man? I don't even remember how it came to be, but the Zack 2K is just so good. Like, it's a video game waiting
Exactly,
for it to happen.
exactly.
Ooh, that's the game. You start as the bartender, and you have to just go through to become that brewer.
That's right.
Oh no,
Each step.
you've been furloughed.
Right. You've been furloughed.
The point of the game is to avoid getting furloughed.
That's right. Minus 600 experience.
I'm glad we can make light of that situation because it turned out to be.
Of course. It worked out this occasion.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not going back to what we've talked about before, like especially Chicago's craft beer community. It is very much a family, and to know that you got furloughed from here,
Yep.
but then we're able to go to another brewery,
Exactly.
do some work there, and you were brought back. I mean, that's awesome.
And exactly what you're talking about. Brent used to work for us, so he was an assistant with Roger, who works in Maplewood. So just that's the special thing about today is you just get to see the diaspora of where everybody went and how this place has led into an opportunity for a lot of other people. I thought that was a really cool thing, and
Absolutely.
that's kind of why I wanted to make it different. I've never made a sour before.
Yeah, that was going to be my
So-
next question. How did you come to picking this beer? This
Yeah,
sour beer to make?
because I have a whole bunch of smart people around me, and I'm gonna learn from them. So it was like,
Guys, I wanna make this beer. I need your help.
Why do something you've already done when
Sure.
you have this opportunity to gain some information from those other people? That was the main focus in my mind. So
So we know it's a fruited sour, and
Yep.
everyone's gonna kind of come together and figure out what the fruit is. Before we talk to anybody else about it, do you have any particular fruit you want to use with this sour?
We brought up tangerine, mango, strawberry. Those are probably the three main flavors, and combining some of those too, just to do that. Seasonal stuff is what we like to do. I like to keep variety as well. So we recently did a collaboration with Burning Bush Brewing Company, and we did
talk about Burning Bush.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's not that kind of. Oh, okay. All right.
Two of us went to a seminary, so it's okay.
Well, so the great thing about him is he's a Presbyterian minister.
Absolutely,
So that was a cool, and that was where I will take credit for this. I got to name the beer, and going off script was the name of the beer because Scripture is such a huge focus of Presbyterian sects.
I like it. That's clever. Zack 2K with the beer name.
Coming in hot. All
right there. That's like 1,000 bonus points in the Zack 2K.
Thank you. I'll take it. Yeah.
You name a beer that everybody thought was clever.
VC virtual currency right there. Yeah, I can use some. All right.
Zach, we're really excited to try this beer once it's ready.
Most definitely.
And obviously, as we're talking to everybody, the whole idea is that we want to talk to you guys more. I have a feeling that we'll probably come back here again to talk to you guys about something else and have a full episode which is Zack 2K all day.
Oh, man.
Unless you guys have any more questions, Zach's got to get back to work, I'm sure. Unless you just want to hang out. I mean, you can keep drinking beer.
I'll come back and hang out.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we can turn off
cool.
the microphones.
Well, Zach, congratulations
Thank you.
on this beer. We're excited to try it, and thanks for having us.
Thank you guys for coming along. Yeah, it was a pleasure to meet you guys at Bug, and I'll be around for a little while.
Awesome.
So, all right. Cheers, guys.
Cheers,
Thank you,
man.
sir. Thank you.
Get the hell out of here, Zach.
Yeah, all right.
I've
got a ticking clock in my head.
How's everyone's afternoon?
So far, so good. It's a pretty beer-fueled afternoon for us.
Oh, yeah.
So that's pretty...
I was like, I'm not going to drink today. 3 pints later.
I've never done that before.
Goodbye tomorrow.
Today's not done that. You're probably doing it and we're back, right?
And we're back!
Thanks, man. Now we are joined with... Frank, what's your last name?
Haynes.
Haynes. He already said it to me. I was going to say Gaines. I'm glad I didn't. So, Frank Haynes, tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and why the hell you're talking to us.
I don't know any of it. I don't know.
You have no information. Rachel, this is now your show.
Thank God.
Rachel, please take
We've
over.
been waiting.
I've been working for the DryHop Brewers crew for 5 years. I started here at DryHop, where we're at now physically, for those who can't see us, which is everybody.
Just imagine.
I started off here, Assist Brewing, and then slowly eked my way over to Corridor a couple of years ago. It was 2018 or 2019. And then I've just been running the ship there, running the crew, and brewing my little heart away. And
Right. So did you start as a brewer here at DryHop?
yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
How long have you been brewing before that? Like, were you working anyplace else or just?
No, I've only been home brewing. So I started with Adrian Vidari, who's here as well. I'd only done home brewing for a couple of years. I would do batches of beers for my friends for parties and.
We're very familiar. We're Brandon, Clark,
Yeah,
and I are home
you
brewers.
like mixed results. Some of the beers were good. Some of the beers were
Don't
not
drink
good.
that one.
But they would drink it because it was free, So.
That's like everybody should be friend with a home brewer because eventually you're just gonna get like, hey man, I don't like this beer. Like, this beer tastes fine to me. I'll drink it. That's what happens.
Beer tastes better when it's free.
Yeah. How long were you a home brewer for?
Probably at that point, like 2 or 3 years.
Oh.
In a tiny little Wicker Park apartment with a very, very small kitchen.
Yeah. So you were like doing like the kettle on top of the
I was just
stove?
using my much to the dismay of my roommates at the time.
Fucking smells, man.
It's so hot in here.
The windows are fogging up.
Yeah, it's 80 degrees outside.
Oh god,
and even hotter inside.
To do it, yeah. Well, that's cool. So you went directly from home brewing to coming over here to brew, huh?
Yeah, I just kind of just dove in. Like I'd said, Adrian Vidari, now with Hop Butcher, shout out.
Yeah, we're gonna get him soon over here. Don't worry.
He was running the brew program here, so I was bartending at Corridor, and then just doing like entry level assistant work. So all the fun stuff, graining out, loading in malt. Like
You're a workhorse at that.
Oh
point.
yeah,
all the stuff
scrubbing,
that
scrubbing the fermenter, tanks. Just I loved it. It was just something that I had been drawn to, and getting away from the kitchen stovetop bathroom beers that I was brewing at home. I was like, this is an upgrade.
When are you coming out with that beer?
Man, I got to transfer it next week. It'll be a huge hit.
Have there been any it seemed like going from the stovetop to a brewery? Have there been any recipes that you did that worked out really well that have kind of become transformed like the higher level, or just
anything I homebrewed was not rebrewed?
That's
it was left there on the cutting room floor. I was like,
bathroom beer.
Yeah,
bathroom beer coming soon.
we have done a brew at Corridor called the Bathtub Burrito. So
nice.
if you've seen Seinfeld, Kramer loves to cook and eat in his shower.
Absolutely, yes. That's awesome.
You have a beer, you have a burrito, screw it.
Oh man, that sounds really fun. I just don't want my burrito to get so wet though. I gotta keep it out. Keep it out of there. So, sorry, that's what I want to know. Keep that burrito out of the shower.
Don't submerge the burrito.
Keep the fucking burrito out of the shower. I don't want anyone writing to us to be like, look, we listened to what he said. We had a burrito and a beer in the shower. The burrito was wet. It fell
and
apart.
now I have a plumber here.
Yeah, exactly. Carne asada down the drain. So, what we were asking, we were talking about like the fruits that's being added to this 9-year anniversary collaboration. What are there any fruits in particular that you want to see in this beer? We just heard from Zack what was kind of tossed around.
Oh,
I don't know if there's anything.
I need to agree with Zack.
No. This is your chance to not agree with Zack. 2K.
And we'll let them know the results. So,
The consensus. I've been trying to do a lot of like peach stuff, but I tried to do a couple of peach beers last summer, but peach was sold out everywhere.
Oh man.
So I would love. I know peach is great. I think it's like a good introductory.
Sure.
I think people think summer, peaches are in season. I think it's also like an approachable kind of fruit, where everyone knows what it's going to taste like. They're not going to be thrown off.
It's a universal
by something wacky,
fruit for sure.
And I would. That was my, insert into the considerations for the fruit contenders. But I was like, let's do a tomato. It's like
I like where this is going. I really do want to know where everybody stands on the fruit. Where they
and
want
we're
to
not going to reveal
anybody's.
the
else.
winner.
I mean, he could have said the exact same thing.
Yeah,
Could have, or it could have been completely different.
Yeah.
Only the listeners know.
It'll be like the race, like which one of them are going to win.
We'll see by the end of the episode.
I'm just here for a
which one.
tomato beer.
I was also like, let's get the most expensive fruit on the market.
Let's make this the most expensive fruited sour that could possibly happen, just based on the fruit alone.
Yeah. So I think that'd be fun. I think it's like a good option. Going in with the grist too. We use a bunch of like Pilsner and Vienna malt. A good complement to that. That being said, I think a lot of people will have a bunch of better ideas. So
Hey man,
we'll let them be
I
the
think
judge
peach
of
is
it.
a good idea.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's better. I think it's just unique, and everyone's got different thoughts. Peach would be really good, actually.
So you guys you went with the fruited sour. Was there anything else that was in contention that you guys had discussed?
Yeah, there was like 20 different styles.
Every style.
Like every brewer had their own,
Yeah.
At first I was like, let's do like a 9% double IPA.
Sure.
I'm like, well, it's going to be super hot.
And
And they're like, next.
The beer's cold. It doesn't matter.
I think it was like, I think a lot of people were like going for like, let's do like either like a beer that matches the ABV matches the anniversary, so 9. So we could get up there as like IPAs, some Belgian stuff. Then we started like, all right, maybe something lighter. Then lager got thrown around a bit. or like Mexican lager. But I think everyone agreed, like, hey, tis the season. Let's get a 5% fruited sour. People will eat it up, and it'll be ready in like a couple of weeks, 3 weeks. So, yeah, I think we just locked in. We got the yeast for it, and they were like, "This is what we're doing." The yeast is here.
Once the yeast is in the building, that's what we're brewing. Well, that's awesome, man. Well, thanks for joining us and talk with us for a little bit.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate it. I have a feeling we'll probably come and talk to you again, as what I'm going to say to everybody that comes to talk to us today is that now you are locked in to talk to us again, whether you want to.
Yeah, I'm pro peach, man. I'm pro peach.
Yeah, pro peach. I like it. Thanks, Vic. Appreciate it, man. Cheers.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks for letting me ruin your.
No. We're now joined with Eric Pedilla. Eric, thank you for joining us on this 9th anniversary for DryHop. We've been talking to all the other brewers that have come in and out from here, and you guys are all here today to brew beer. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, thanks for having me.
And sorry we kind of just ambushed you at the bar.
Yeah,
and then I called you Adrian.
almost spilled my beer, but yeah, it's okay. Forgive you guys.
Podcast? No, thank you.
Yeah, so I brewed here at DryHop. After actually, I first started at Corridor.
Okay.
For when I was working with this company. So I started as Danny's brewing assistant, and when Danny left, Roger came on, and I was his brewing assistant. Roger eventually moved on to Maplewood, and then, well, actually, Adrian left first, and then I came to
Adrian,
be
Adrian.
that brewer here, and then when Roger left, then I moved back to Corridor. So yeah, it was like a little shifting around, like intra-company, like horizontal movements. But yes, I worked at both breweries for a while, and then after Corridor, I moved on to more brewing. When Sean left Villa Park. Eventually we built out a production facility in Huntley, so I moved there. And most recently, as of February, I moved on to Open Outcry on the south side in Beverly.
Yeah. How's it out there in Beverly?
Oh, Beverly is it's like a nice, like, historical neighborhood, old houses.
It's a very Chicago, like when you picture Chicago, Beverly really does.
It's like one of those neighborhoods, like Beverly, Morgan Park, Oak Park. Oak Park's not in Chicago, but I live in Ravenswood Manor, which is another like kind of historic neighborhood.
Absolutely.
So yeah, like Chicago has its little like pockets of nice neighborhoods with really old houses.
Yeah, historical old houses. Yeah. But
yeah, it's Beverly. It's still Chicago. It's like one of the last neighborhoods in the city on that side of the city. Outcry is one of the two breweries that are in that stretch of Western down there, other than Horse Thief Hollow, which I also worked at.
Oh yeah, nice.
Back in the day. But yeah, it's it's definitely a change for me coming from production brewery. But the owner, John Brant, he told me he has like some plans that he wants to execute, and I was like, yeah, we can do that. So yeah, it's definitely like a work in progress right now, and the only thing that's really challenging us is all the supply chain stuff and stuff like that. That's affecting everyone, obviously. But
yeah, absolutely.
So it's getting things that you need ordered or like on order. Sometimes it's pretty hard because then they come back and they're like, oh well, actually it's going to be 6 months or
Well, that changes everything, especially if it's a beer plan, and now you got to switch something up.
So
on the fly.
it's I'm pretty sure everyone's going through this, and it's unfortunate, but it's just reality now, I guess.
No. So, when did you start brewing? as you're taking a sip? That's why I like to ask questions when people have a mouthful of beer.
When did I
Sorry
start
about that.
brewing?
Yeah,
like,
when you, like in general, like as a self, like did you start as a home brewer?
I did start as a home brewer. Actually, I did IT for many years. I went to school at Illinois Tech. I went to grad school at Illinois Tech. So I did IT for a long time, and then sitting behind a desk, and you've got a comfortable job, comfortable gig, and it's not too hard, but it's also not very inspiring. At one point, you're like, I want something else. I want to like use the creative side of my brain, and in 2015 is when I decided to leave IT. I got a job at Break Room Brewery on the north side of Chicago.
Break Room?
Neighborhood that I still live in that area.
Yeah.
So that was my first full-time brewing gig. But I was also working part-time doing stuff with Horse Deep Hollow while I was still...
Oh, wow. It's a bit of a jaunt in between the two.
Both me and Dave, the head brewer at the time, had full-time jobs.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of weird. Like,
so you had full-time jobs and then going in between
so
two breweries.
For him, it was like he was the head brewer, so he had to have essentially full-time jobs. But like we would leave work and then we would meet up there and we just like brew till 1 in the morning and then
go to sleep
and go back to work the next day. But
that's dedication.
Yeah. So, but before that, in essence, like the reason why I decided to leave is because I became an avid home brewer.
Sure.
So like I was brewing sometimes twice a week. Like I had 250 batches of homebrew before I brewed like a professional batch of beer. And I became a member of Chaos Brew Club, and that's how I met a lot of my current friends. A lot of them went on to be professional brewers as well. And that's kind of how it developed my brewing curiosities and the drive to just leave my job and become a brewer. So
that's awesome. Wow, it's a pretty big risk to take, but obviously, like you said,
it is. And brewers don't make as much as
working in IT.
Now I would be like a senior IT dude. So I would probably be making multiple times the amount of money that I make as a brewer, but there's a different type of fulfillment that you get.
Absolutely.
So you're fulfilling a different part of your life.
It's more of a mental fulfillment than physical.
Obviously, no one ever wants to turn down money, but
How happy are you? That's the good. You know what I mean? That's awesome. So,
I was going to say that. So the one question you had asked previously to one of our previous guests was there something that you did when you homebrewed that translated over into like what you're doing now? Have you ever taken a recipe that you homebrewed and like brought that?
Yes, not exactly. When you scale things up, it's a little bit of adjustments that you do, but I would say yes, at least like overall concept of something that I brewed on a homebrew scale, I definitely have. For me, the most important thing that I brought from me as a homebrewer, I was kind of like always cleaning stuff, like sanitizing everything, and people were like, "Man, you're like super thorough." And I was like, "Well, like homebrewing, it's even though it's a small scale, it was still kind of expensive."
Absolutely. It's not a cheap.
You're still spending $75 to $100 for a
if
batch
there's
of
anybody
beer.
out there that thinks that when you get into homebrewing, you're going to save money because you're making your own beer, it's absolutely wrong. Yeah.
No.
Oh, Rachel's still here.
Still here.
And you're spending all that time doing all that stuff.
Cleaning is like 90% of homebrewing.
Exactly. Or like in brewing in general is
brewing. Yeah,
essentially a glorified janitor.
You get real good at cleaning.
But I mean, the thing is, like for me, that I carried on from even like the first batch of beer that I made in a bucket, to now is being clean and having proper sanitary practices and stuff like that. Beyond the recipe stuff, which like I said, it changes a little bit as you scale from size, from 5 gallons to 60 barrels, which I was brewing at the last brewery. But I think the bottom line is just being clean with your methods, and I think if you can execute that, then you're off to a good start. It's just a matter of developing your recipes, your techniques, stuff like that. And you'll end up making something decent, I hope.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are good tips for you, Clark.
Yeah.
Just so you know, so you can make good better
Good to
beer.
know. I'm working.
Everyone is looking at you. What's going on?
They actually should be looking at me.
Clark's still trying to learn what a hydrometer is.
And what's this? What is this? How does this measure? What are we measuring?
Just become a mixed culture homebrew club. There you go.
Exactly. So the other thing we've been asking everybody before I let you go, because we don't want to take away from hanging out with everybody. With this being a sour beer, there have been questions about what fruit each brewer would like to see, and there maybe is talk of is there a fruit in particular you want to see in this fruited beer?
Well, depending on the blend of the fruits, but I think I threw around the idea of doing a blend of pineapple, mango, and tangerine.
Nice.
Doing kind of like a yellow fruit punch kind of sour thing.
I like that.
So,
That actually might be.
And you could pair that with a pizza if you wanted to.
pair that with
yeah.
a
You're
pizza.
talking about they got to do a pizza pairing.
Yeah. I can't wait.
if it's liquid, it'll pair with a pizza. You can eat pizza with anything. A glass of water will be fine too.
That's normally what I have. Well, Eric, thanks a lot, man, for joining us and
we
talking
appreciate
about
it.
this.
Yeah, I
Really do
appreciate you
it.
inviting me over.
Yeah,
So,
of course.
it's
We'll have
fun.
to make our way down to Beverly sometime.
Absolutely.
See you, man. That would be awesome.
Please reach out.
Yeah, definitely will, man. Thanks, man. Take care.
you.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Sorry I called you Adrian. Now it's your turn to say it, Rachel.
And we're back.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Fucking sucked.
That's what he says about everything.
Brandon feels a little slighted by that. You know what? If you want, we can do an intro.
Could have some fucking some energy in there. Come on. You're excited. You're on the malting hour, kid.
We could.
Yeah,
good.
it's time for the jingle.
We could. If it makes you feel any better, we could have Rachel do the intro to the episode. Welcome to the malting hour.
Welcome to the mauling hour.
Welcome to the malting hour. It's been a long afternoon. Anyways,
I'm one of your drunks, goalie tonic.
okay. Anyways, welcome back, everybody. We are now joined with Joe Steigerwald. Hey, Joe.
I didn't know if I was supposed to say my name then.
Yeah, no, it's okay. No, I said it this time.
Say my name.
There's a lot of singing going on and off mic. I kind of like this.
I
Hey,
like
Joe.
it.
Welcome
Good to-
back.
Hey, thank you for having me back. I feel like I've never left the show.
According to the list of episodes, you have not left the show, which is all right by us, man.
Well, thanks for stopping by.
See you later. Next brewer in. Where's my pizza?
Adrian.
Where's Adrian Friel this time? Hey, that was a real faux pas, the last interview we did. Anyways, Joe, thanks for inviting us for this today for the 9th anniversary of DryHop. This has been a lot of fun. We really appreciate you bringing us on here. I know we obviously had a whole episode with you, and we drank a whole bunch of beers, but here at DryHop, I mean, other than marketing, it seems like you had a little bit more input on what was going on today. Obviously, with oh shit, I'm already forgetting names.
Zack 2K?
No, not Zack 2K.
Talking about Brant?
Frank?
Yes.
Brant,
So did he come to you with the idea and say, "Hey, this is what we should do"?
Yeah, so Brant and I mean, as a company,
I'm gonna edit out that I forgot Brant's name.
It's
I'm
okay.
not
That's
gonna
okay.
do it.
He forgot a guy too, so it's okay.
That's right. I'll forget. Oh, that's true.
Same
Yeah,
team.
yeah.
Same
There you
team. No, so we work all over the place all the time. We have 3 different brewery restaurants, and so a lot of our work happens via email, phone calls, and texts. And so Brant he initiated this. He sent out a text and he said, "This is an idea," and I immediately sent back, "That's an awesome idea. We need to do it as soon as possible." And I know that we're coming up on our 10th anniversary. Are we blowing it right now by doing this? Who cares? We'll figure it out next year. It's fine.
Yeah.
So we'll just have to up it and do something even better for
You just
10.
do it every anniversary.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do it again, and then we'll have a party next year too. So yeah, that's how it came up. As far as what beer they made, that was up to the brewers. I don't really have any input in that. After I suggested and we made a beer that was blue, they don't let me have anything to do with beer anymore.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of bummed I missed out on that after Clark, you did your job for the first time in months to get me some information on a thing we were talking about. It did sound like a really good beer. Kind of.
It was a super fun time. Yeah, it was like a what was it? Milkshake IPA with a bunch of blueberries in it. It was super tasty. You came to the event,
Yeah.
Rachel. Yeah. So
Rachel's still here.
Still here.
but no, it was fun. So yeah, we definitely collaborate on everything though. So Brant came up with the idea. I kind of give it a little bit of body, start to figure things out, invite folks like you guys out to come out and hang out with us.
Thank you.
And of course hang out with the brewers and drink beer, the hardest part of the job.
Yeah. I mean, this is actually the fact that I took off work to come and do this. I mean, it's a rough life I have. You know what I mean? Like,
I did not take the day off work today. I'm literally at work right now.
you are working, yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. As Zack told us as well, he's currently working as well. So I think
Yeah, as soon
Brandon's
as he
working
left when he was
too.
talking to you guys, he's still in the brew house. He's still
Really?
working his ass off right
Yeah,
now.
no, I saw him when we were grabbing these next beers.
As he should.
When
I
we were
took
grabbing
the
these
day
next
off.
beers, he was like, all the other brewers are standing around. Is someone like using a leaf blower right now? What is going
Yeah.
on?
How many leaf blowers do you use here at Craig?
17. Yeah, that's
This is going to be a really interesting episode
I
to listen back
attribute
to.
that to kitchen noise. I assume it's
Right?
That's not kitchen noise.
Something in
That's leaf.
Someone has a leaf
Those
blower
are
on
your
the roof.
17 leaf blowers.
yeah,
On the roof.
Oh,
it's
that's
the Nimbus 2000. It's yeah.
They've gone down to the back. Yeah, Zack, when we grabbed these other beers here, I saw all the other brewers standing around talking, having a drink, whatever. And then Zack is like going in and out, like talking, like, yep, here I go, just gonna keep on.
Yeah.
That's great.
He's keeping it going. I mean, so he's the guy behind this beer. So he's.
Is he brewing more other than just the sour today, or that was?
Well, I mean, there's always work to be done, and so he's. I'm sure he's.
You hear that, Zack? You got time to lean. You got time to clean.
I know he was brewing the collaboration anniversary sour today, and then of course they're always like transferring beer.
Sure.
And as I think everybody knows, you guys have a big like homebrew crowd here. 90% of brewing is cleaning, so a whole lot of that going on today too.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
So he's probably cleaning everything up now.
Yeah.
At this point. So, Joe, we've asked a lot of the brewers what fruit they would want in this beer as far as the sour.
Oh yeah, it's not decided as of right now.
Everybody has their own input so far.
Yeah.
yours.
Yeah, we want to know what your input is, man.
Ooh. Well, I'm always a big citrus guy, so probably something nice and citrusy. Maybe something like sweet and tart on the both sides. So maybe I don't know. Maybe I got a Paloma in my head right now. I'm thinking like I'm thinking like that kind of vibe.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
like that.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, leaf blower's off.
Finally. Did you turn it off with your phone? Because your phone went down and then the leaf blower.
Sorry.
Like, oh, sorry, guys. That was my leaf blower.
My bad.
Doing a little hacking.
It is.
Do you guys want to watch me drink a beer with my phone in?
Yeah, it's funny because all the brewers have had different fruits that they. Now, Zack, the way Zack talked, it sounded like it was locked in. But everybody else was like, oh, I had this fruit and I have this fruit. And I kind of want to see this and do this. So I don't know where we're at, but I'm going to lean more with Zack 2K then. I think he already has an idea of what's going to happen.
Neither do I. Usually, they tell me about the beers. I get real excited about them. Then the brew day comes up. I promote them like crazy. That's pretty much how it works. I don't get a ton of, like I said, I made a blue beer, then I got banned from suggesting beers anymore. So,
You're not.
so yeah, Paloma, don't tell them I said that because
Sure.
it won't happen.
Yeah, no problem. It's going to be on the episode, though, just so you know, in case they go back and
Oh, no.
listen. Like, they
Totally
are gonna know
aware.
that we said that.
Yeah, no.
All right. Well, Joe, thanks again, man, for inviting us out here for this today. We really appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. We'll come back out and drink the beer with you guys.
Sounds good.
Whatever
Cheers, guys.
fruit gets put in it.
Yeah, enjoy the pizza.
Thank you. Oh, yeah.
Thank
yeah.
you.
That's next. Cheers.
Bye.
Well, guys, this is going to wrap it up for the show. All the brewers are hanging out. We're going to try and grab a couple more, but I think it just makes more sense to let them hang out. We've also been fed pizza. Rachel, you did not try any of the pizza. There's one piece left for you if you want it.
I could try that.
We inhaled it. Like, we're...
You
I missed the jalapeno one, and that was sad. That was my bad.
You left right at the most
I
opportune time.
know. I know.
Understand, you have friends on the
dog,
patio
yeah.
there?
Yeah.
Dogs over pizza, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is awesome. This is a lot of fun. Anybody have any takeaways? Brandon, what do you take away from today, man?
It was awesome to actually talk to the guys and kind of get their different takes, especially like the fruits that they wanted to put into the beer. Because everyone kind of had their own ideas, and it'll be interesting to see when it actually comes to fruition what they decide to put in. And it was cool to hear the history of everybody, how it's funny because everyone was like, I started a corridor and then DryHop, literally it was interweaving everywhere. So that was kind of neat. And I'm glad we got to meet some people that we haven't met before. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
For me, the family tree of DryHop, so to speak, it was crazy. I mean, just to hear where everyone's gone and how they started here and what they did in between, and then where they've ended up, and then they're still back here. That's pretty cool. So,
Rachel, I know you pretty much talked the entire time, but I do want to know your takeaway from today as well.
No, I think hearing different perspectives of what, because I don't think I've ever been involved in never, I guess, in this capacity in general, but I think it is interesting to know, this is a style of beer. It's a collaboration brew, but we don't fully know what it's going to be. So I feel like that leaves this level of excitement of, we know the style, we know it's a lot of people were involved, all within the same, upbringing within the brewery. And I think that part's exciting. So I'm excited to try the fruited sour, whatever it ends up being. There's a lot of different options. For me, it was interesting. I know I kind of led the podcast and talked too much and didn't get every.
That's kind of why I cut you off here because I think how much
I know how you feel. Yeah,
Clark and Rachel, you guys pretty much just steered it, so I appreciate both of you.
Sure.
But in all seriousness, thank you, Rachel, for joining us for today. Sorry, it's not the Rotten Pumpkin beer episode that we said you were going to come on for. We will try that again. But yeah, Joe is over there. But Joe, thank you very much for making this happen for us.
You got it. I'll be back for the next episode. I'm really excited.
The 7th member of the podcast. Once you're a guest, you become a host.
Yeah, is it like a monkey's paw?
Yeah.
Did the final finger just?
Yeah, that was it.
Mostly, that's
Brandon,
sorry.
this is no longer me and you. It's the world's podcast.
Hey, you know what? Open it up. Open it up.
Good. Somebody else can record.
More voices.
Fucking edit this. No, but thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. Rachel, thank you. Clark, nice to have you back, buddy.
So nice to be back.
Can't wait to talk to you again in 5 more months.
Just came for the beer. And
I'll
the pizza.
see you in October for Rachel's next episode with pumpkin beers in the fall.
Sounds good. Brandon, I love you, man.
Love you too, bud.
I'll see you guys later. Thanks for listening, and happy anniversary to DryHop.
Thank you. Bye.
And delete all those files.
When do we start?
This has been The Malting Hour. Be sure to follow us on all social media by searching The Malting Hour and at themaltinghour.com. You can also follow us individually on social media. Brandon can be found on Instagram as BMDub81, on Twitter, BDub81, and on Untapped as BDubDrinksBeer. Tony can be found on Instagram and Untapped under Ace of Help Chicago, on Twitter, The Ace of Help Chicago. Clark can be found as Clarkowski on all three. Dan can be found on Instagram as hip__hops and hip hops on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe, like, and rate the show on your preferred podcast listening platform. Until next time, cheers from all of us at The Malting Hour.